bodybuilding questions. So buckle your seatbelts, get your questions ready. Also, if you're seeing this when we're not live, you can still ask the questions in the comments, and I will get back to you. I promise you, I will get back to all the questions. Or I try very hard to get as many questions as I can. Okay, but sometimes we get a lot of comments, a lot of questions, but I will do my best. All right, guys. So today, bodybuilding questions. We'll let a few people join up. Let's let YouTube do its thing, so to speak, and we will get started.
This is obviously a better network. Hopefully, great usage and more adoption of this technology, and that will obviously
Can't wait till we get the first question.
Therefore, increasing the value of the network.
Sometime.
The value of the crypto itself. And so that's why this is all very important to be following to understand where the network is on a development perspective, what they're working on, and how quickly they're rolling it out. Because we have other ecosystems in crypto. They talk about, oh, well, we're going to roll this out next year, and then next year, oh, we're going to roll it out next year, and they just keep putting it off for years. Every other ecosystem is able to deploy these technologies, but these one or two protocols are like, oh, well, we just need a little bit more time. We need a little bit more time. It's like, no, you just never planned to release the product in the first place. One of the things that these newer blockchains like Internet Computer, even Solana, do to these other older legacy ecosystems is it lights the fire under their ass to say, you need to get this together. Because if you don't, you are going to be like, not you, but like the network. And so Internet Computer is moving rapidly. Meanwhile, where's ASI Crypto, the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, which merged 3 AI blockchain projects together over a year, 3 months ago, when I'm recording this video?
We got to get our first question. Meanwhile,
Internet Computer's over here doubling the storage capacity, increasing the subnet capacity, and launching AI capabilities on chain. And so, where's the valuation going to flow? Where are the users, the network operators, and the developers are going? They're not going to ASI. Everybody is focused.
You guys can ask any bodybuilding questions. Let's go. Who's going to ask the first question? Come on, I see you in here. Any kind of question you want to ask about bodybuilding, or just to get started, cryptocurrency, making money, getting rich, gold. Want to ask any questions about gold? Anything. Come on, guys. Help get this stream started. Let's get this going.
One challenge we see during CASHAPP is we found that the conventional test nodes that we really use experience low read write performance under heavy workload. It also like enough disk space to test 2 terabyte state. So we need some nodes that has comparable high performance.
Ask bodybuilding questions.
However, the existing way to set up such hosts is cumbersome. It requires many manual steps across the several hours and stuff. So and we need 4 of them in the single subnet, which is more complex. Next slide.
And what you can see here is that they were testing, right, and stress testing the network. In the previous cycle, we talked about Cardano, right, with a stress test, because Cardano was like, oh, we're going to be launching
bodybuilding questions. Let's go. Come on, guys.
Capability for it at the end of 2021, but then they didn't launch anything on Cardano. It was like, wait, hold on a second. Y'all were holding out on smart contract capabilities on the blockchain for years, when every other blockchain had it, and then you launch it, you have no products to launch.
How to get pump. How to get pumped. This guy wants to know how to get a pump going, okay? How you get a good pump going? First, you got to eat some carbohydrates. That'll help fill your muscles with water. Take creatine, just make sure that you have been eating enough, okay? If you're not eating enough, or if you are in a calorie deficit, like your body needs 2,000, but you're only eating 1,500 calories, you're not going to get a good pump, okay? If you want a good pump, you got to eat a little bit in a caloric surplus. Make sure those muscles are full to the brim with glycogen, okay? You want to do glycogen carb loading. So even the day before you work out, you could eat a lot of carbs. That will help you get a better pump, okay? And then to actually get the pump, You got to really train that muscle, okay? So if you're working biceps, you got to do one set and then rest for at most 2-3 minutes. If you rest too long, you're going to lose your pump, all right? So, and you got to go heavy too, and you got to go till it hurts. Once it starts hurting, that's how you know you're getting a pump, all right? So that's how you get a pump. Thanks for the question. You can get a localized pump in any muscle simply by training that muscle, okay? And you have to train enough. You got to do enough sets, enough reps. If you want to learn more about the pump, look up that guy. I think his name is Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? Look that guy up. I think he knows a little bit about getting pumped, all right? Look up Arnold.
Rolling these things out. And one of the things that I said was Cardano needs to stress test the network. Because one of my things was, why were they not launching these DEXs? Was Cardano not capable of the performance that you're seeing on Ethereum, on Solana?
All right, any more bodybuilding questions? Let's go. Hopefully we get some more questions.
The stress test. And then all these other Cardano, I guess, bears were saying, well, Cardano only does 1 or 2 transactions per second. The whole network was, no, we do. There's 1,000 transactions in the transaction. It's not. And then I was like, oh, that's why they're not stress testing the network, because they're not doing it. And one of the things that got me really bullish earlier in the year with Internet Computer was they were stress testing the network. I mean, we saw the network able to handle 12,000 transactions per second, the fastest out of any blockchain ecosystem in the world, in the history. That is, I mean, that's amazing.
Bodybuilding questions today. Come on, we got 3 people in here. I'm willing to help answer your bodybuilding questions. All right, we got 0 people. They all left. Related video. We'll put a related video here. Come on, guys. We got 1 person. Let's go.
Something out, if it's not a real product, I mean, it's ridiculous. You ever go into, you know, I don't know, a store that's just brand new, just opened, they have grand opening in the front, and you go in and there's nothing in there. Or they don't have
How heavy are you? You look 245, I'd say, but lean. I'm 170. I'm a lean 170. So I like to have a Bruce Lee body. I like to be having some muscle, but also have a lot of cuts. All right? That's the way to go. You know, you could either build a lot of muscle, or you could try to build some muscle and then get cut. If you're cut, people are going to know. All right? So being cut, I think, is even better than just being massive and having a ton of muscle. If you're cut, that looks even more impressive. All right?
So now Internet Computer is, nobody knows about this. Like, what's going on? So they were testing, and as you can see, they're not just trying to roll out products or trying to hit deadlines. They're trying to create real
All right.
products.
Any more questions? Let's go.
Withstand the usage and performance.
We will wait. I'll wait for a few more bodybuilding questions. We got to get these questions answered. You have questions, I have answers.
And so this gives me confidence to know that they have been testing, they have been rolling it out. It's very different. As I've said over and over and over, projects that are deploying technology,
Good.
not the ones that are saying, oh, well, we're going to do it. We prompt ASI, artificial superintelligence.
All right, guys, let's go.
Where's the AI project? In a year and a half, they have 3 teams coming together to compete in just the bare basics of technology, which is like, well, what are they doing? There's one organization. Granted, they've probably been doing things a little bit longer than the ASI Alliance teams, but either way, the computer can do it. These other teams can do it. Just the same thing in the previous cycle. If Solana can do it, if Ethereum can do it, Cardano should.
Come on, guys.
The fact that Cardano was not doing it.
Let's go. Let's go.
We were exiting the bull market into a bear market.
Ask bodybuilding questions today. Come on.
missed it. They missed it. And so all the ASI, they're missing it this cycle. They're not. Where's their presentation that they're doubling the size of the capacity of the entire network? Where's ASI's transactions per second metric? Where's ASI's large language model that's coding programs and dApps? Where's ASI's app store? Nowhere to be seen. And maybe they're working on it behind the scenes. That is definitely possible. I don't want to take away from what those developers are working on, but we're not seeing any of it. And we're not even seeing it on the back end in the metrics. We saw over the year that Internet Computer was testing and that metrics were starting to increase rapidly.
So now I'm homeless as as predicted. Not really. I was able to move in with a buddy, but basically this compound, which I later found out was Trenbolone, has absolutely, go figure, has absolutely wrecked my whole life. To add insult to injury, I learned that the guy who recommended my dosage meant 200 milligrams per week total, split into 3 separate doses, not... What's up, guys? Derek, moreplacements.com. Today we are going to be visiting the subreddit, the MPMD subreddit, and there was an interesting thread called My Worst Cycle Stories. Can it possibly get any worse? So obviously these videos are always really interesting, practical examples of what not to do and things to avoid. You know,
Ask your bodybuilding questions, guys.
Lack of proper research. Particularly good educational moments type videos to kind of you know, teach, especially the guys who haven't started or who are new to this or whatever. Like if you're dead set on doing it, what not to do and how to avoid getting fucked up. Because this is an example. Again, I haven't even read this one, but I'm assuming it's another thing about, you know, not planning well and what he should have done to avoid whatever outcome happens in this thing. So anyways, we're going to go through it together. I can't pinpoint the exact series of events that have led to it, but I'm currently in the middle of my worst cycle. So, hell, I guess. This all started, oh, so this isn't his first cycle, this is his worst cycle in general. This all started because of my buddy who I'll call Charlie. He got all tied up in a sauce maybe 6 or 7 years ago and went from being a legit twit, 150 pounds on a good day, to being king candy, 240 pounds, 100% bald, and looking like what I picture an old man Johnson looks like when he's joking. You can tell this is my subreddit by the language here. If you didn't get that metaphor,
We're answering bodybuilding questions. If you're trying to build muscle, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button right now, guys. Let's get it. We got to add more muscle to our bodies and more money to our bank accounts. All right, guys? Hit that like button.
I was intrigued as a lifelong gym goer. I haven't seen any real gains since I graduated college. I've always heard all the horror stories about roids, and I've struggled with acne and my temples for my whole life. I've always assumed if I took roids, I would end up homeless or in prison with my face looking like a pepperoni pizza. Before I go any further, you can all know that I know zero about steroids. Zilch, butt kicks.
Straight.
My worst cycles are, okay, so it is his first cycle. I guess that also means it's my best cycle.
We build straight muscle here.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I have no idea what I'm doing. So anyways, sorry, I'm having a hard time thinking straight. A lot has happened in the past 5 months. I caught 4 vials off Charlie and started with what another guy of similar stature recommended.
Hit that like button, guys.
200 milligrams thrice a week.
Because you look,
600 milligrams
yeah.
per week. When I asked Charlie about this, he said that was a large dose.
Okay.
That would be fine. Because you're
What's the plans for the rest of the night?
like fucking 10 question marks. Plus,
Well, that's a real good question. I already got my workout all out of the way. I already did my stock trading this morning, which was basically
I would break down coughing so hard
make sure I have orders in to purchase these stock options. And I did everything I needed to do. I went to the bank and I got a little bit of money. I'm gonna buy a laptop, I think, soon. I gotta buy a laptop. But for the rest of the day, I'm gonna take this weed and I'm gonna roll it up, and then I'm gonna walk to the park, and then I'm gonna smoke up. I'm gonna light it up in the park. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna eat another meal. I'm gonna probably get chicken and probably chicken and broccoli. Chicken and broccoli. Yeah. So, and remember, guys, the muscle growth process. This is the key. This is the key. The muscle growth process takes place very slow. Okay? So you do not need to eat 200 grams of protein and think that you're going to get big fast. Your body can only add so much muscle per day. Okay? So you might only need 60 or 70 grams of complete proteins. People, you don't need 150, 200 grams of protein because the muscle building process takes place very, 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 very slow over weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay? So you might be building 12 grams of muscle. Let's just say you build 10 grams of muscle per day, but you're eating 200, 300 grams of protein. Eating more protein is not going to be able to make you build more muscle. The muscle growth is going to happen at a certain pace in relation to how often you train and how hard you train. And it's got a limit. Your body can only put on so much muscle per day, you know? You can only synthesize so much protein. So when you eat a ton of protein, you're just going to pee it out. And your kidneys are going to have more stress, okay? Anytime you eat, it stresses your body. It stresses your internal organs. It stresses your kidneys, your liver, digestive system. It makes you feel lethargic, tired. When you eat too much, it doesn't allow your body to cleanse itself, okay? So you do not need to eat excessive protein. This will only contribute to premature aging of your body. More cellular reactions that release free radicals. The digestive process releases free radicals. This is not good. And the less you eat, the better. So as bodybuilders, we don't want to do what's called bulking up. Because when you bulk up, you're going to add a lot of fat on your stomach. As men, we do hold fat on the stomach. I hold fat on my stomach and on my legs. And that's it. That's it, basically. I hold fat on my stomach and my legs. So I try to not eat so much that it'll get converted to fat. If you're eating too many carbohydrates, it's going to convert to fat. I don't care how hard you're working out. If you're eating in a massive calorie surplus, you're going to gain fat. Okay? You can only put on so much muscle. So your best bet is to eat between a 100 to a 300, 400 calorie surplus. If you're eating 500 to 1,000 extra calories a day, you're going to get fat, okay? Or you're going to have to do so much cardio that how is your body going to build muscle? You're going to be catabolic. Catabolic means muscle wasting, okay? So don't just eat a ton and think you can do all this cardio, because then that's going to interfere with the muscle building process, all right? You want to eat an appropriate amount and lift weights just long enough to stimulate the muscles to grow. You don't want to lift weights for hours on end, you know? For most people, you should lift weights for 45 minutes, 3 days a week, you know? So weed is good for muscle. Nice, I'm a smoker as well. Machiavelli is a big toker, I guess. So weed is good for muscle. Yes, take a look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. After he won the 1980 Mr. Olympia, which he stole that from Mike Mentzer. He stole the Mr. Olympia because he knew the judges. But after he won, he smoked. That's the first thing he did, was to smoke. Okay? So what do I do first thing after I lift weights? Well, I like to eat and then smoke. Okay? So yes, it helps with the recovery. It helps relax the body, relax the mind, put you more into an anabolic muscle building state. I believe. Okay? I believe. Yeah. So, that's what I got to do. Yes, we got 9 people in here, guys. Ask your bodybuilding questions. If you want to know how to gain weight, how to build muscle, just let me know. I'm here to answer your questions right now. I'm here for you guys. Like and sub MFers, yes. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, okay? Nobody does it like me. Nobody cares about you guys more than me. In reality, I just love to talk, you know. But I might as well accomplish something while I'm speaking rather than just talk to myself. So I figured I'd talk to you guys, give you guys some good tips every day out here, every single day.
I was so paranoid my roommate was also cheating on me that I justified it in my mind. So this sounds really, really trend baloney right now. She wanted my noodle, and I couldn't say no, so I gave her the noodle. Linda found out, though, freaked out for nothing.
I've been subbed so long. Well, yeah. Thank you. B Money. Of course you're a subscriber. Your name is Money. This channel is literally about two things: money and muscle. That's it. How to improve your financial situation and how to improve your body. So I do appreciate that you subscribed a long time ago. I certainly do appreciate that, B Money. That means a lot. It's as good as it gets. As good as it gets, boys and girls. I thought this was a football channel. No, this is not a football channel. I'm into weightlifting, okay? Don't get me started on football. Weightlifting, you work on your own body. You become healthy. You become strong. You become more attractive. You become more masculine. When you watch football, you just sit there and you get a big gut. You drink your beer and you get fat. That makes you more feminine, okay? It lowers your testosterone, so it's going to make you more feminine. Sitting there and not exercising, you know. Not you, though, Machiavelli. Not you. This guy works out as well. I can really taste that olive oil. You know what? Thanks for that thing. Thanks for the thing you're sending right now. Yeah, guys. How do you fill these things up? It's so hard to do. You have to like go like this.
Split into 3 separate doses, not 3 times a week. But in my modest attempt to research steroids, all I've managed to learn is that more places, more days, and some guys.
Like, how do you do that? Is that how you do it?
Basically, the only ones who seem to know what they're talking about on the subject. What do I do? Do I continue with the 600 milligrams until I finish the 6 months, or do I?
It takes forever.
Will my test levels?
It's gonna take me 20 minutes to make. Green beans. Oh, my favorite vegetable. That's gonna be broccoli and cauliflower. But I also like green beans, and I like celery and carrots. But my favorite vegetable of all time, I like peas because they're a starchy vegetable. Peas will help restore your glycogen levels. And then peas have a high quality protein, okay? So in reality, the best vegetable for muscle growth, I would say it's peas or white potatoes. Because peas and white potatoes will massively increase the glycogen stores within your muscles, okay? So I really like peas, you know. I don't like the taste, but they get you jacked. Broccoli and cauliflower. He likes broccoli and cauliflower too. I really like those. That's what I eat every day. I go to Wegmans and I get these, it's organic packets. They're frozen. Broccoli and cauliflower. I try to buy organic whenever I can. Learn how to roll. That takes a long time too. I don't have the patience for this, guys. Peas are really good for you. I just cannot stand. Yeah, they're terrible. And then my dad always hated peas. He always hated them. And I always hated tomatoes. But then I like started eating tomatoes more, and they got better. You know. You get used to it. You have to be mentally prepared before you eat them. You're like, you got to say to yourself, I'm going to eat these and they're good for me. And eventually you'll start to like them, you know?
No, that's probably already done, to be honest. Like, there's no way this guy watches my stuff or Greg's stuff if he somehow perceived run any of it, that this was something that was reasonable. And nobody would even tell them to do 200 treadmills per second with no testing.
Kale. Yeah, kale.
Suggested any of this shit online.
I've heard a lot of mixed things. They say kale is not good for you because it's a nightshade. But then kale also has some of the highest levels of antioxidants. And like you can make kale chips. Those are really good. I don't know how to make them, but people make kale chips. I got really into kale. I actually got really into kale before anybody else was in on it. When I was like 16 years old, I started buying organic kale because of the antioxidants and everything. And then I stopped eating it, you know. You don't need kale. Yeah, it's good. I think it's good for you. Gotta have something to stuff the weed in there, like a little straw. It has one. Yeah. This is so stupid, guys. I should be researching stocks. Instead, I'm rolling this stupid thing up. But I'm going to walk to the park and make a few videos at the park for you guys. There you go. Not a big fan of tomatoes, especially tomato sauce. Tomatoes are very acidic, you know, so you don't want to eat a ton of tomatoes, but they do have lycopene. Lycopene, it's red, okay? So that's also what makes watermelon red too, I believe, is the lycopene. It's a very powerful antioxidant that can prevent cancer. They say lycopene is good against cancer. I haven't researched it in years, but that's what they used to say. They used to say lycopene can prevent some kind of cancer. It's been studied for some kind of cancer. Lycopene, let's see, anti-cancer activity of lycopene. A systematic review of human and animal studies. So 72 human and animal studies that were analyzed for endpoints such as cancer incidence, improvement, treatment outcomes. The results of most of the reviewed in vivo studies confirmed the anti-cancer activities of lycopene. Most of the studies concerned prostate cancer. Okay, they did a lot of studies on prostate cancer with lycopene. Mechanisms of lycopene action include regulation of oxidative and inflammatory processes. It can prevent oxidative damage. And just so you know, oxidative damage can hurt your DNA. So you want to be eating antioxidants every day. I like wheatgrass juice. Everyday wheatgrass juice. That's how I stay strong. That's how I stay young. I believe that really helps. Okay? Induction of apoptosis and inhibition of cell division. So it actually can kill cancer. That's what apoptosis means. It can kill cancer cells. They will die. And inhibition of cell division. So it can prevent cancerous cells from dividing. And it kills the cells. What about these people who never eat fruits and vegetables and all that? Yeah, a lot of them get cancer and they get sick and they get old. And they can barely move around and they're in wheelchairs. Guys, you got to exercise all the time, every week, and eat healthy. That's the only way you're going to stay healthy when you're an old man. All right? For real. When I'm 80, I'm going to be lifting weights. He loves tomatoes on toast with mayonnaise. If I'm being a fatty. Yes, mayonnaise. Mayonnaise just makes me sick. Because it's just like a white cream that's made out of pure saturated fats. And fat has 9 calories per gram. So if you eat too much mayonnaise, you're going to gain weight. You know, it's added calories that you don't need. You know, you don't need it. It's like whenever people go to Burger King and they get a burger. You don't need a bun. You don't need mayonnaise. What you need is you need your beef and you need your vegetables. All right? And if you do want to have a bun, you have to buy Ezekiel bread and use that for your bun. I'm for real. I used to make my own hamburgers and use Ezekiel bread because it's sprouted grains. It gives you more protein. It's higher quality, higher quality fiber. White bread, they take out all the good stuff. And it's basically just becomes poison. Okay? You do not want to eat refined carbohydrates. No white bread. He's 34. Yeah. 34 is a good age, dude. As men, we actually keep a high level of testosterone until we're like 40, 45, 50, and then it really starts to drop off. After the age of, I think, 40, you only lose 1% of testosterone a year. That's like nothing. So men, we can stay strong into our 40s, into our 50s. We can stay pretty strong, but you have to work out, okay? As soon as you stop being mobile, your body will begin to decay. It'll stop healing itself as much, you know? Well, your body is always in a constant state of healing. That's one thing I wanted to mention about Mike Mentzer, too. He was one of the most famous bodybuilders of all time. He built a astonishing physique. Mike Mentzer, okay? He competed for about 10 years. He would say that the body has a limited recovery ability. I would change that, and I would say that the body has an amazing recovery ability and an amazing adaptive ability. Your body can recover and adapt within limits, okay? Within limits. But the body is always in a state of healing, especially when you're sleeping. You want to get a lot of sleep. You really want to get at least 7 hours of sleep, you know? But everyone's different. Some people can be fine on 6 hours, and some people need 9 hours of sleep. $35, yeah. You see me, I'm 39, and I'm in pretty good shape. My pecs are popping. My arms are growing. And you can see my abs. I'm lean, you know? So, yeah, you can get in shape at 39. You can get in shape at 49. So in conclusion, lycopene, tomatoes, watermelon, it has anti-cancer activity, okay? So you got to eat your tomatoes. I like cherry tomatoes because they taste a little bit better, I think. And if you do not get lycopene, you should be taking a whole food supplement or a whole food multivitamin, okay? If you don't have a good diet, then you need a whole food multivitamin that's got natural foods in there rather than lab-created vitamins. You need whole food. That's good. That's good. See, I hate doing this. But if you get a bowl, it's going to taste like shit after about a week of smoking with it, you know? And then you got to clean out your bowl. Guys, it's easier for me just to throw the bowl in the garbage and buy a new one, you know? So I'm going to have to learn how to roll. Yeah, so we're almost ready to go for our walk. Yo, Mr. White. Yeah, we get that one a lot. Water buffalo. You're probably the original person that said that. I like to think of myself as you know, a drug producer. No. But channel's doing okay. Not really, but we're still trying on here. We're still trying. I got a feeling that we're this close to a breakthrough on this channel. We're getting very close to a breakthrough. Hire me as your personal roller. All right, I'll send you the stuff, and you can roll them up and send them back. Just don't take any of it. But I wanted to do my hill sprints today, or I want to train legs, but I could train legs tomorrow, or I could take the day off tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. I should probably just take the day off, because I did a really solid workout today. So he thinks the channel is going to take off soon too. We're very close, guys. We're very close. What we need is altcoin season, crypto season to start. Because then they're going to pump out my videos. The algorithm should help me a little bit more. But right now, the algorithm's not doing anything for this channel. And it's crazy because I see other channels. Oscar Ramos, he went from like 60,000 to 160,000. I went from like 3,000 to 3,300, you know. But all these guys have their own techniques of how to build following, but they're not telling anyone else. So I have to figure this out on my own, and I really don't know. I'm not very computer literate. I don't know much about the internet or how to grow a channel. If I did, my channel would be a lot bigger. But what I do have is the drive to be successful, the drive to become a YouTube billionaire. Well, or just make 5,000 bucks on YouTube. That'd be okay too. If I can make enough money to get a car on YouTube, I'd be happy with that. You know. So that's really what I need. I need to make 5,000 bucks before snow hits. So we really got to take this channel to the next level now. But doing everything I can, guys. I'm doing everything I can. Trust me on it. Trust me. Literally, I'd like to see my family and friends, but I want to build this as my career. So other things, they'll have to wait. They'll have to wait. But I do need to go for a walk just to relax and get my head clear for stock trading for tomorrow, okay? Got to get my mind clear again, reset, go back to stock trading in the morning. And then I want to take a personal training course, so I'm going to be trying to become a personal trainer soon. But I'm going to be going back to work. Need a new car too. Mine started having problems recently, and so I'm scared to drive it and get stranded. Whew. Yeah. You got to have AAA, you know. Who wants to pay for that, though? I guess you can get AAA like at Christmas time, and they'll give it to you for real cheap. I had the same problem, though. I was driving in a car that was not inspected. I put all my money into silver. So now I got nothing left for a car, you know? So, yeah, we got the same problem, dude. Jesus Rodriguez and Water Buffalo, thanks for being here today. Thanks for supporting the channel. Give me those watch hours, helping me get those views. I know it's depressing sometimes when we're not getting enough followers that I need. But we got to have faith. We got to have faith. I have faith. I do. I know good things are coming to me because I'm putting in that work. I know it. I know good things will come. I need crypto to take off so I can use some profits for a new car. Yeah. We're in the same spot. I wonder if you live in a snowy area too, because it's going to start snowing. I don't want to be riding my electric bike through the snow again. I got lucky last winter because I found a Saturn Vue for $2,000. Well, actually, that was the winter before last. I paid $2,000 for it, and I drove it for 2 years, and I sold it for $1,800. So I drove it for 2 years, and I only lost $200. So basically, I paid $100 per year to be an owner of that car. It snows a lot where he's too, dude. If you have to, dude, we could get a loan for a car. You know, it's not good to get a loan. You want to. I could save up for enough money for a car like that. In 3 weeks, I could have enough for a car, just for my income at my job. But every time I get paid, I buy crypto. I can't help it. I can't help myself, dude. My crypto portfolio is just like my baby. I don't have a son. So my crypto portfolio takes a lot of my time and attention. It's basically the son that I wish I had, you know. So I got to try to grow it, put more money in there, you know, focus on it, give it my time and attention, and the crypto will blossom. And then we're going to sell and we're going to make a lot of money, guys. All right. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks, everybody. Water Buffalo, Jesus Rodriguez. Not getting a lot of new viewers, but we will. We'll see you guys soon. And this working out thing, that's going to be more often. I'm going to do a lot more workouts. All right? And you're going to see my progress. I'm going to just blow up like a balloon. I'm all natural. I'm not taking any gear or anything like that. So I'm not going to get huge, but I'll get bigger. All right. We'll see you later, Water Buffalo and Jesus.